Well, Hamas is now willing to release up to 20 hostages in return for a 6-week truce. Remember, 133 hostages are still stuck in Gaza 6 months later and counting. Our correspondent Joey Cohen sent us this ground report from Israel. Take a listen.
On the 7th of October, when Hamas attacked Israel, crossing the border and killing 1,200, mostly civilians, they also took 253 hostages. Since then, 124 hostages have either been released as part of a negotiated deal or rescued. 133 are still being held in Gaza, including 4 hostages from before the 7th of October. In the latest, Hamas appears to have rejected the proposal offered by the American, Qatari and Egyptian negotiators, which was accepted by Israel. Hamas has offered to release 40 hostages after a 6-week ceasefire. However, there is little trust within Israel that Hamas would keep their word and release the hostages at the end of the 6 weeks. Even if Hamas agrees to return the 40, the fate of the others would be unknown, as Hamas denies that it knows where they are and says that other groups are holding hostages too. In the meantime, Iran's firing of 350 projectiles towards Israel in a single night, involving drones, ballistic and cruise missiles, has diverted the government's attention away from the hostage negotiations towards the question of how Israel should respond to Iran's attack. The War Cabinet met on Sunday. They reportedly favour responding to Iran, but have not yet agreed a plan on when or how. I spoke to people on the ground to hear their views about what they think the government's top priority should be right now.
I think that Iran definitely has influence over Hamas, and if pressure could be put on Iran in order to ensure that those hostages come home now, that's what we should do.
Of course, nuclear Iran is a big thing, but the hostages are just very urgent. They're out of time. Most of them are dead. I mean, if you don't want to get them back in coffins and you want to get them back alive, then it needs to happen now.
Israel believes that the two issues, Iran's attack and the hostages held in Gaza, are in fact linked. At the UN Security Council emergency meeting on Sunday about Iran's attack, Israeli Ambassador Gilad Erdan suggested that Iran is behind Hamas's attack on Israel, as well as the attacks by Hezbollah and the Houthis, and he urged members to impose sanctions. A Saudi official has also reportedly told Israeli media that in order to destroy progress towards normalization, the Saudis believe that Iran engineered the war in Gaza, including taking the hostages. So could pressure on Iran ultimately lead to bringing the hostages back home? Would Israel strike Iran in response to Saturday night? And what would happen to the hostage negotiations? For now, those are unanswered questions. This is Jodie Cohen for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.